I've been dropped into a novel. And of course, it's one of those trashy melodramas about a mega-rich family, making me the story's ultimate chump. The first thing I see is the blindingly lavish penthouse office. Sprawling city views, mahogany desk the size of a car, the whole 9 yards. Before I can take it all in, a file folder is slammed onto the polished wood. Sign it. I look up. A perfectly made-up face, twisted with impatience, glares back at me. Isabella Reed, the daughter my family adopted. My sister, technically. Behind her, two stone-faced bodyguards stand like brick walls, radiating pure intimidation. In my upper field of vision, a semi-transparent feed of comments begins to scroll, a feature of this new reality I'm still getting used to. Here we go. The classic scene. The hero sacrifices his own company for his beloved Ethan. Isabella is such a queen. That power move is everything. Just sign it already, Caleb. What's the hold-up? It's just one resort. What's the big deal about helping a friend? Are you deaf? Isabella rapped her knuckles on the desk, the diamonds on her nails flashing. Ethan is waiting for this agreement to secure his financing. We're on a deadline. Sign it now. Staring at the scene before me, the plot of the original novel floods my mind. I am Caleb Sterling, the sole heir to Sterling Enterprises. But according to the script, I'm about to be financially gutted by my dear sister and her true love, Ethan Vance. This document, the Hamptons Gateway Resort Equity Transfer Agreement, is the first domino to fall. A core asset worth $250 million handed over for a song. Ethan uses it as a launch pad, and within a year, Sterling Enterprises is bankrupt. My parents die from the stress, and I'm locked away in a psychiatric hospital to live out my miserable days. I lower my gaze, my eyes landing on the bold, glaring words, equity transfer. My fingers trace the edge of the paper. Isabella, I say, looking up, my voice eerily calm. What does Sterling Enterprises pay you a year? She's clearly thrown off balance, then looks insulted, her voice jumping an octave. Caleb, what does that have to do with anything? I'm talking to you as your sister about something important. My sister. I let out a soft, sharp laugh. I pick up the agreement, weighing it in my hand. An adopted daughter with a $500,000 salary. Where do you get the nerve to use that tone of voice with me? The sole heir to Sterling Enterprises. The legal owner of a $10 billion fortune. Who the hell do you think you're ordering around? The comment feed explodes. WHOA, did the hero wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? Adopted? I didn't know she wasn't a blood relative. She's complaining with a $500,000 salary. The way she talks, you'd think she owned the whole damn company. Isabella's face flushes a deep, blotchy red. Her breathing grows shallow. You, Caleb, you're being completely unreasonable. Ethan needs this opportunity. He's brilliant. He just lacks a platform. The Sterling family has more than enough to spare. Shouldn't we help him? Can't you be a little kinder, a little more generous? Kind, generous? I shoot to my feet, snatch the agreement, and slam it down on the desk in front of her. The impact echoes through the silent office with a loud crack. You want me to use a $250 million project, built with the Sterling family's blood, sweat, and money, to show off your cheap, performative kindness, to prop up the imaginary talent of your little boy toy. I take a step closer, so close I can see her pupils shrink in shock. Your brand of kindness, Isabella, is damn expensive. The feed is going wild. Haha, he's not wrong. $250 million, and she says it like it's nothing. Damn, his tongue is sharp today. That was brutal. How dare you? Isabella completely loses her composure. She screams, her hand flying towards my face. It's a practiced, familiar motion, but she doesn't know that the spineless fool of a brother who used to take her abuse is gone. I catch her wrist in a vice grip. The force is enough to make her cry out in pain. Then, as everyone watches in disbelief, I swing my right arm. Crack! The sound of the slap is sharp, clean, and deafening. It leaves a perfect crimson handprint on her pale cheek. I didn't hold back. Isabella stumbles backward, crashing to the floor. Her perfectly styled hair falls into disarray, and one side of her face begins to swell, the five-finger mark a shocking trophy. The comment feed hits a fever pitch. The slap, it's the slap, the heroine's signature move, but used by the hero. OMG, he knocked her on her ass. He actually did it. That sound was so crisp. My own face hurts just watching. Look at her face. She is completely stunned. I'm dying. The two bodyguards instinctively move forward, but I stop them with a single ice-cold glare that carries the unspoken weight of absolute authority. If either of you moves a muscle, I'll make sure your families can't even get a job bagging groceries in this city again. They freeze, paralyzed. Isabella clutches her face, staring up at me, her eyes a storm of shock, humiliation, and utter disbelief. You hit me. I ignore her. I bend down, pick up the scattered agreement, and under her horrified gaze, I begin to tear it. Riot. The $250 million agreement is reduced to shreds. With a flick of my wrist, I toss the paper confetti over her head. It rains down on her hair and shoulders, a final, calculated act of degradation. That was for my grandfather, and his father before him. I look down at her, my voice dripping with contempt. A backstabbing leech like you has no right to give orders here. The comment feed is a party. He tore it, $250 million just gone. The confetti toss, that is next-level savage. So humiliating, and I'm living for it. Bringing the ancestors into it, this guy is a legend. I press the intercom button on my desk, my voice now cold and clipped. Mr. Hayes, send in the team. The office door swings open, and my executive secretary, David Hayes, enters followed by 6 security personnel in sharp black suits. They were clearly on standby. Mr. Sterling. I gesture towards the pathetic heap that is Isabella, still crumpled on the floor. My tone is devoid of emotion. Notify HR and the board of directors. Effective immediately, Isabella Reed is terminated from all positions within Sterling Enterprises and its subsidiaries. Simultaneously, freeze all her corporate accounts, credit cards, and access to the family trust. Without my personal, written authorization, she is not to touch a single cent of Sterling family money. Yes, sir, Hayes replies without a flicker of hesitation. Furthermore, I add, pausing for effect, compile all evidence of her embezzlement and the confidential corporate secrets she leaked to Ethan Vance. Distribute it to every member of the board, and then call the police. Isabella's face turns chalk white. Her lips tremble. How could you know? When did you? The comment feed lights up again. WHOA. He has proof. So she was the corporate spy all along. Embezzlement? This just keeps getting better. Plot twist on top of plot twist. The hero is playing 4D chess. I crouch down, picking up a single shred of the torn contract. I gently tap it against her swollen cheek, the gesture soft, but the insult searing. Did you really think the disgusting little games you and your kept man were playing would stay hidden forever? Just then my phone rings. The screen flashes. Dab. I hit the speakerphone button, letting his furious voice boom through the quiet office. Caleb, you damn fool. Have you lost your mind? You apologize to your sister this instant. My father's voice is shaking with rage. Isabella grabs onto it like a lifeline, her voice a shrill, tearful cry. Dad, Caleb hit me. He's firing me from the company. He's gone insane. I speak directly to the phone, my tone level but laced with ice. Mr. Chairman, before you start issuing orders, I suggest you check your email. Take a good, long look at how your kind and sensible adopted daughter has been gutting this family to feed her parasite boyfriend. The line goes dead silent. A few seconds later, my father's voice returns, all bluster gone, replaced with a horrified stammer. These wire transfers, these confidential documents, is this real? It's all there in black and white. I sneer. She tried to give away a $250 million project. She leaked our most sensitive trade secrets. Tell me, Mr. Chairman, was I wrong to slap her? Was I wrong to fire her? The feed is in awe. He's even schooling his own dad. This is epic. The chairman folded instantly. Hard evidence is king. So the dad was in the dark this whole time. I don't wait for an answer. I hang up the phone and wave a hand at my security team. Get her out of here. As of today, she is banned from setting foot in Sterling Tower. Notify every security desk. If she's seen on the premises, have her removed. Yes, Mr. Sterling. 2 guards haul Isabella to her feet. She thrashes wildly, screaming hysterically. Caleb, you can't do this to me. Ethan won't let you get away with this. He'll make you pay. Ethan, a contemptuous smile plays on my lips, as if I've just heard the funniest joke in the world. Let him try. I'd love to see what a pathetic leech who only knows how to hide behind women can do to me. The comments are a chorus of approval. Why, yes. So satisfying from start to finish. That's the attitude a real heir should have. Kept man. The perfect description. I can't wait to see Ethan show up and get destroyed. The office door closes and silence finally returns. Mr. Hayes steps forward, holding a tablet. Sir, we just received this. Vance Innovations, Ethan Vance's startup, is desperately seeking Series B funding. It appears they have a serious cash flow problem. I glance at the data on the screen, a cold smile forming. Get the heads of investment and legal on the line. I want them in the main conference room in 30 minutes. I'm going to make Ethan Vance understand that in the face of real capital, his pathetic little company, built on the backs of women, isn't even a fly worth swatting. The comment feed goes into a frenzy. Here it comes. The corporate warfare is starting. A meeting in 30 minutes. This guy's efficiency is insane. Crush him. Like the bug he is. I've got my popcorn ready. I turn to the massive floor-to-ceiling window, looking down on the glittering, cold metropolis below. The skyscrapers are a forest of steel and glass. The traffic a river of light. All of it at my feet. Ethan, your biggest supporter is gone. You're next. Your lucky streak is over. 3. I had barely dealt with Isabella when my office door was thrown open. Sophia Davenport stormed in on 4-inch heels, with Ethan Vance trailing behind her, a perfect picture of a wronged victim. Caleb, are you even human? Sophia jabbed a finger at me. Isabella was so good to you, and you hit her. The comment feed sprang to life. And here they are. The sanctimonious girlfriend and the leech. Ah, the classic moral outrage segment. The way she's yelling, you'd think she was the one who got slapped. Ethan put on a show of trying to calm her down. Sophia, please. I'm sure Caleb was just emotional. Emotional? Sophia's voice was shrill. He had her arrested. This isn't an emotional outburst. It's a witch hunt. I calmly opened my laptop and pulled up a file. Sophia, where were you at 10 p.m. on the 15th of last month? She froze, her eyes darting nervously. What's that got to do with anything? I was at home sleeping. Really? I clicked play on a video file. Then who is this? Kissing Ethan in the hallway of his apartment building? The feed went nuclear. Boom. Caught in 4K. The cheating fiancée. I knew she was way too defensive of this guy. Sophia's face went pale. You had me followed. Follow? I scoffed. This is from the public security camera in your dear Ethan's luxury condo. I just requested the footage. I opened an email chain. And this. The confidential bid price for the Sterling bid last quarter. That was you who leaked it to him, wasn't it? I didn't, she stammered, taking a step back. Do you need me to read the email you sent him out loud? I locked my eyes on hers. Caleb's bid proposal is on his desk. The bottom line is $370 million. Bid $365 million and you'll win. Ring any bells? The comments were a waterfall of rage. Wow, the ultimate betrayal. Another backstabber, using her fiancé's money to prop up her side piece. Unbelievable. Ethan rushed forward. Caleb, this is all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? I shot up from my chair and spun the laptop around to face them. Do you need me to play the audio recording of you coaching Sophia on how to get Sterling's corporate secrets? The office was suddenly dead silent. Sophia was trembling, her lips moving, but no words coming out. I walked over to her, my voice like ice. Neil. She looked up, stunned. What did you say? I said, Neil. I repeated, enunciating every word. For your betrayal, for selling out this family, you will kneel and beg for forgiveness. The feed was ecstatic. HE's making her kneel. This guy is ruthless. I love it. That's exactly what she deserves. Ethan tried to intervene, but one of my guards slammed him back against the wall. Caleb, don't you go too far. Sophia shrieked. I glanced at my watch. I'll give you 3 seconds to decide. You can either kneel, or I can make sure the Davenports are bankrupt by morning. 3. She bit her lip, her eyes filled with venom. 2. Her legs started to shake. 1. I'll do it, she screamed, collapsing to her knees with a thud. Tears streamed down her face. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have leaked the information. The feed was a victory parade. She knelt. She actually did it. This is so satisfying to watch. Should we dealt with these two snakes ages ago? I looked down at her. As of this moment, our engagement is over. You, Sophia Davenport, are nothing to the Sterling family. She looked up sharply. You can't. Furthermore, I cut her off. The Sterling legal department will be suing you for corporate espionage. Get ready to lose everything you own. Sophia crumpled to the floor, her face ashen. Ethan struggled against the guard, shouting, Caleb, do you have to be so damn cruel? I walked right up to him and grabbed him by the collar. Don't worry, you little leech. You're next. I waved to my security. Throw this trash on my building. The feed erupted in cheers. Triple kill. This is amazing. The efficiency is off the charts. Can we get a live look at Ethan's mental state right now? Once the office was quiet again, Hayes entered. Sir, your orders are being carried out. Davenport Group stock is already in free fall. I nodded. Keep applying pressure. I want them filing for Chapter 11 by the end of the week. My phone rang. It was Sophia's father. I declined a call and powered the phone off. The comments were full of admiration. Doesn't even take his future father-in-law's call. Now that's a power move. The price for crossing Caleb Sterling is steep. Watching the security feed of the two of them being physically dragged out of the lobby, I allowed myself a cold smile. Ethan, I'm breaking all your toys one by one. Soon, you'll have nothing left. 4. The news that Isabella Reed had been arrested and Sophia Davenport had been forced to kneel and beg for forgiveness spread through New York's high society like a wildfire. From my office, I watched the security feed as Ethan's black Mercedes sat parked across from Sterling Tower for 20 minutes before finally speeding away. The comment feed was buzzing. Looks like Ethan's starting to panic. He lost both his shields in one day. Of course he's panicking. Caleb works fast. This has all happened in a matter of hours. Mr. Hayes knocked and entered, his expression serious. Sir, Sloan from your security detail has been asking about your schedule for tomorrow. Sloan. In the novel, she was the treacherous bodyguard, the mole Ethan had planted by my side years ago. A cold smirk touched my lips. Leak her the itinerary for the site inspection at the new development tomorrow. Tell her I'll be going alone. Sir, that's too dangerous. Dangerous? I twirled a pen in my fingers. I'm curious to see what other tricks Ethan has up his sleeve. The feed lit up. He's setting a trap, luring the snake out of its hole. Sloan is so done for. I knew there was something off about that bodyguard. The next morning, I drove out to the development site by myself as planned. Sure enough, a black motorcycle appeared in my rearview mirror, the rider clad in black tactical gear. It was Sloan. I turned down a quiet, isolated service road. Just as I pulled over and pretended to check a map, the motorcycle screeched to a halt, blocking my car. Sloan dismounted with athletic grace, her combat suit hugging her lean frame. Mr. Sterling, fancy meeting you here. I leaned against the car door, a half smile on my face. It's not a coincidence. I've been waiting for you. Her expression flickered. Her right hand drifted instinctively toward her belt. In that instant, 4 black SUVs converged from both ends of the road, boxing us in. 8 elite security operators, my real detail, jumped out and surrounded us. Search her, I ordered flatly. 2 guards subdued Sloan, pulling a micro camera, a listening device, and a stun pen disguised as lipstick from her gear. The feed exploded. Caught red-handed. She was armed. They were going to do more than just spy. Ethan is playing for keeps. I picked up the stun pen and waved it in front of her face. Was Ethan's plan for you to use this on me? Sloan clamped her jaw shut, silent. Take her back to HQ. I got into one of the SUVs. Notify all executives. Full company meeting in 1 hour. An hour later, the largest conference room at Sterling Tower was packed. I had Sloan brought to the stage. In front of every senior manager, I displayed all the evidence of her treason. In March of last year, you leaked the corporate security layouts to Ethan Vance. In August, you altered my father's travel route, helping to orchestrate a car accident. Last month, you stole confidential files from the R&D department. With every charge, a wave of gasps went through the room. The comments scrolled furiously. She's not a bodyguard. She's a corporate spy. This is terrifying. How is Caleb even still alive? Ethan wasn't just trying to bankrupt them. He was trying to kill them. I walked up to Sloane and slapped her hard across the face. That's for your ingratitude. The Sterling family paid for your training, gave you a career, and this is how you repay us. I slapped her again with the back of my hand. And that's for your betrayal. You took a Sterling paycheck while working to destroy the company that signed it. The feed was loving it. The double slap, so satisfying. He's not holding back. Her face is already swollen. Traitors get what they deserve. Sloane finally broke down, sobbing. I'm sorry. Ethan made me do it. He made you. I laughed coldly. Do I need to play the audio of you offering yourself to him in exchange for a promotion in his new company? The main screen flickered to life, showing security footage of Sloane passionately kissing Ethan in his apartment. The room erupted. Call the police. I told the head of security. Charge her with corporate espionage and attempted assault. The comments cheered. Yes, arrest her. Let her rot in prison. Ethan's officially run out of pawns. This cleanup operation has been flawless. Just as the police were about to cuff her, Sloane suddenly broke free and lunged at me. Caleb, I'll kill you. I sidestepped, grabbed her arm, and threw her to the ground with a clean hip toss, my knee pinning her to the floor. I forgot to mention, I whispered in her ear, while you were playing spy for Ethan, I was training with special forces. The comment feed went completely insane. HLYS, he knows hand-to-hand combat. That takedown was smooth as hell. This guy is full of surprises. The police dragged the struggling Sloane away. I straightened my suit jacket and addressed the room. Effective immediately, the entire corporate security department is being restructured. Everyone will undergo a new background check. If you have something to hide, I suggest you resign now. After the meeting, Hayes brought me an update. Sir, Vance Innovations just announced a failure to secure funding. Their stock has plummeted over 30%. I looked out the window. Ethan's Mercedes was still parked across the street. Get a message to him, I said coldly. Tell him the game is just getting started. The feed was electric with anticipation. Ethan's about to do something desperate. At this rate, Ethan's not going to make it through the week. 5. The Grand Ballroom at the Monarch Grand Hotel was glittering, packed with the cream of New York society. Ethan Vance stood at the center of it all, dressed in a bespoke suit that cost more than a luxury car, a limited edition watch gleaming on his wrist. He faced a wall of media cameras, his expression a carefully crafted mask of sorrow. Thank you all for coming to my birthday celebration tonight. His voice was deep, catching with a hint of emotion. Some things have happened recently that have been deeply painful. I've always believed in leading with kindness, but reality can be disappointing. He paused, letting the photographers capture his performance of vulnerability. The comment feed was already restless. Ugh, I think I'm going to be sick. His acting is so over the top. Here comes the pity party. It's his signature move. Get a close-up on his face. I want to see the moment the tears start. Just then, the ballroom's massive, ornate doors swung open with a deafening boom. I strode in, flanked by a 12-person team. 6 black-suited bodyguards cleared a path, for lawyers clutched sealed briefcases, and 2 technicians carried state-of-the-art projection equipment. The sheer force of our arrival silenced the room. Every spotlight, every camera lens swung from Ethan to me. Looks like I'm right on time. I walked toward the main stage, my steps confident and unwavering. Mr. Vance, since you love putting on a show, how about I help you build a bigger stage? One where the whole city can see you for who you really are. Ethan's face went white, but he quickly tried to recover. Caleb, this is a private event. You're not welcome here. Security, get him out. A few hotel guards moved forward hesitantly, only to be frozen in place by a single glare from my security chief. I snatched the microphone from the MC's hand, my voice booming through the high-end sound system. Don't be in such a hurry. I'm here tonight to give you a birthday present you'll never, ever forget. I signaled my technicians. The enormous LED screen behind the stage flickered to life, displaying a close-up of Ethan's panicked face. First, let's listen to a fascinating recording. Ethan's voice, crisp and clear, filled the ballroom. Isabella, Caleb is a simple-minded fool. Just keep him sweet-talked and get me the resort project. Once it's done, I promise, you'll be the next Mrs. Vance. Sophia, you have to give me that bid price from Sterling. If you have to sleep with that old board member to get it, do it. I'll make you my wife, I swear. Sloan, find a way to drug Caleb. Make it look like an accident. Yes, use one of those untraceable neurotoxins. The comment feed absolutely detonated. He confessed. It's all him. Solicitation to commit murder. That's a federal crime. This man is pure evil. He even planned to poison him. Those 3 women were fools. He played them all. The ballroom erupted in shocked murmurs. Guests lowered their champagne glasses in disgust. Ethan lunged for the microphone, but my guards intercepted him, pinning him with a brutal efficiency. Patience. The main event is just beginning, I said with a sneer, switching the display. Here we have the complete money trail, showing how Ethan Vance systematically siphoned over $87 million from Sterling Enterprises, laundered through 12 shell corporations registered in the Cayman Islands. Every transaction was disguised, but no match for a real forensic audit. The screen filled with complex charts, wire transfer records, and flowcharts marked with damning red arrows. The blatant criminality made the seasoned business leaders in the room gasp. And there's more. I switched to the next set of evidence. Forged contracts bearing his signature, fabricated financial reports, and his masterpiece, the complete written plan to have a private doctor inject me with a neurotoxin detailed down to the dosage and injection site. The feed was a blur of frantic text. Poison. This is premeditated attempted murder. He's a monster. He deserves the chair. This evidence is airtight. Ethan Vance is finished. How did Caleb get all of this? He's a genius. Ethan finally snapped. He broke free and charged at me, screaming, Caleb, I'll kill you. I swear to God, I'll kill you. One of my guards delivered a vicious sidekick that sent him sprawling onto the plush red carpet. He curled up in a ball, his expensive suit now stained and ruined, all traces of his former elegance gone. I walked slowly towards him and looked down. You pathetic leech. Is this enough evidence to put you in a cage for the rest of your life? At that moment, the ballroom doors opened again. A team of police officers marched in, led by a detective from the FBI's white-collar crime division. Ethan Vance, you are under arrest for charges including embezzlement, corporate espionage, and conspiracy to commit murder. The comments went into a celebratory frenzy. The arrest. Teach you why we're arresting him on the spot. Justice. This is the most satisfying thing I've ever seen. I could watch this on a loop forever. The timing is perfect. As the handcuffs clicked shut around Ethan's wrists, he started laughing like a madman. Caleb, you think you've won? The people behind me. They won't let you get away with this. Their power overseas. I leaned in close, whispering so only he could hear. You mean your backer with the secret account in Zurich? My apologies. All his assets were frozen yesterday by Interpol. By the way, I hear he's enjoying the hospitality of a federal prison right now. The manic look on Ethan's face vanished, replaced by a chilling, primal fear. For the first time, he looked truly hopeless. The comments were stunned. He had a bigger fish behind him, and Caleb got him too. This wasn't just revenge. This was a complete extermination. Flawless victory. This is legendary. I stood up straight and raised a glass to the stunned audience. Thank you all for witnessing this important moment. As of tonight, Sterling Enterprises begins a new chapter. Let this be a warning to anyone who thinks the Sterling family is an easy target. This will be your fate. Amidst the blinding flash of cameras, I watched Ethan get dragged away like the animal he was. The reporters swarmed, broadcasting his utter humiliation to the entire world. The comment feed was a unified chorus. Live streamed to the world, the ultimate social execution. This is how you destroy someone, body and soul. Congratulations to our hero for taking out the trash. This will be the #1 trending topic for weeks. That night, hashtag Ethan Vance arrested, hashtag scumbag of the century, and hashtag Sterling Enterprises dominated every social media platform. The Sterling Enterprises stock price surged 15% at the opening bell, adding nearly $1 billion to our market cap in a single day. I stood by my office window, watching the city lights glitter below. Mr. Hayes delivered his final report of the evening. Sir, all of Vance's domestic assets have been frozen. Vance Innovations has officially declared bankruptcy, and we've just received confirmation from Zurich that his offshore accounts have been seized. I swirled the deep red liquid in my wine glass. Inform the legal department I want him to spend the rest of his life in a maximum security prison. I also want them to begin asset recovery. He will pay back every single cent he stole with interest. The feed was hungry for more. I hope he gets life without parole. This revenge saga was better than any movie. Epilogue, please. I want to see him getting what he deserves in prison. 3 months later, I sat in the plaintiff's gallery at the New York Supreme Court. The building was surrounded by a media circus. On the other side of the courtroom, wearing a prison jumpsuit, was Ethan Vance. He looked gaunt and broken. The feed was already buzzing. The finale is here. Wow, prison has not been kind to Ethan. Can't wait for this verdict. The judge's voice was stern and final. The defendant, Ethan Vance, having been found guilty of embezzlement, corporate espionage, and conspiracy to commit murder, among other charges, is hereby sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. All personal assets are to be forfeited. As the gavel struck, Ethan collapsed. The bailiffs had to drag him from the courtroom. As they passed me, he screamed, his voice raw, "Caleb, I'll haunt you from the grave." I stood, calmly adjusted my cufflinks, and looked down at him. "When you get there, feel free to try. I'll show you what it's like to be a ghost with nothing left to haunt." The feed erupted in laughter. LOL, he even owns him in the afterlife. Getting tormented even as a ghost. That's rough. Caleb's one-liners are legendary. That afternoon, I paid a visit to a private psychiatric hospital upstate. Through a one-way mirror, I saw Isabella Reed in a patient's gown, clutching a tattered doll. She was whispering to it, "Ethan is coming for me. He's going to marry me." The doctor gave me the update. The patient suffered a complete psychotic break. She's living entirely in a fantasy world. All she does is hold that doll and stare out the window. I left a file on his desk. This contains a full accounting of every asset she acquired from my family. It's all been recovered. As for her medical bills, I glanced back at the room. Let her live out her days here, in peace. The feed was somber. She did it to herself. Threw her life away for a monster. This is what happens when you bet on the wrong horse. On the way out, Hayes handed me a tablet. "Sir, the Davenport Group officially filed for bankruptcy yesterday. Sophia and her father were caught trying to flee the country and were mobbed by their creditors at the airport. They're now hiding out in a rented room in Queens." The screen showed a recent photo of Sophia. The once glamorous socialite was now haggling with a street vendor over the price of vegetables, dressed in cheap, worn-out clothes. "Leak her current situation to the tabloids," I said without emotion. "Let her have a taste of public humiliation." The comments were ruthless. Poetic justice. That's the price for being a corporate spy. Remember how arrogant she was? This is perfect. The motorcade headed back into the city. As we passed the state correctional facility, I asked the driver to slow down. It was recreation hour. Through the chain-link fence, I could see Sloan, dressed in a prison uniform, walking listlessly in circles in the yard. The once fierce bodyguard was now a hollow shell. A guard recognized my car and approached. "She's been quiet since she got here. Tried to kill herself last month, but failed. Now she just sits in her cell all day." I gave a slight nod. "Watch her. Don't let her die. She needs to pay for what she did." The feed was reflective. A story of villains and consequences. You can't feel too sorry for them. They made their choices. Caleb's revenge was absolute. No loose ends. Back at Sterling Tower, employees lined the lobby to welcome me. I went straight to the top-floor boardroom, where the board of directors stood as I entered. Effective immediately, I am formally assuming the role of chairman of Sterling Enterprises. I placed the signed documents on the table. First order of business, restructuring this board. I read 7 names from a list. The gentleman I've just named will resign immediately. A full dossier of your financial dealings with Ethan Vance has already been delivered to the FBI. The named directors went pale, allowing themselves to be escorted out by security. The feed was impressed. A true power play. Cleaning house. He even took down the corrupt board members. Second order of business, I said, pulling up a global map on the main screen. A strategic pivot for the company. Step 1. We will acquire the bankrupt Vance Innovations and absorb its most valuable assets. Step 2. We will buy out the remaining assets of the Davenport Group at a 10% premium. Step 3. My finger landed on New York City, an aggressive push into the global market. We have already secured partnerships with 3 international investment banks. Our first overseas office will open next month. The room erupted in applause. The feed was buzzing with excitement. The scope of his vision is huge. This went from a revenge story to a corporate epic. Caleb is building an empire. That evening, I gave an exclusive interview to a major financial news network. The host asked, "Mr. Sterling, after this ordeal, what's your biggest takeaway about the world of business?" I looked straight into the camera. Business has always been survival of the fittest. But my message is this. I leaned forward slightly. Anyone who mistakes the Sterling family for a soft target will pay the price. Just then, there was a commotion off camera. A producer whispered awkwardly to the host, "It's Sophia Davenport. She's at security, demanding to see him." I turned my head slightly toward the producer, my voice flat and clear enough for my microphone to pick it up. "Tell her to get lost." After the interview, I stood on the rooftop of the newly completed Sterling Global Headquarters. It was the tallest building in the city, the entire glittering expanse laid out at my feet. Mr. Hayes brought me the latest report. "Mr. Sterling, our market cap has increased by 200% this quarter. We've officially broken into the Fortune 100. I took the report, my gaze sweeping across the endless city lights. "Tell the department heads to be ready for a meeting tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. sharp. The agenda is our global strategy for the next decade." The comments were filled with hype for the future. The king on his throne. From near ruin to global domination. What a story. Can't wait to see what he does next. As the night deepened, I stood alone by the window. In my hand was a confidential letter from Interpol, thanking me for the intelligence that helped them dismantle an international financial crime syndicate. I fed the letter into a shredder, raised my glass, and toasted the sparkling city below. The old era was over. A new one was just beginning.